we talk about something most people get wrong about mentorship? When people hear the word mentor, they immediately think about business, money, success, strategy, entrepreneurship. But the truth is, that's only one piece of it, because some of the biggest transformations in life don't come from just business mentors. They come from the people who guide your health, your habits, your mindset, your discipline, your actual day-to-day life. And the problem is, most people are trying to figure out everything alone when they don't really have to. So today, I just want to shift your perspective on mentorship, because mentors aren't just for business growth, they're for life growth. Now, I know we've talked about the difference between a mentor and a coach. And there are lots of life coaches out there. And these are people that are going to guide you more in these areas. But you know what? You can have a mentor in lots of different areas of your life. I've been a mentor for people predominantly in business, but I've been mentors to young moms that are learning to raise their kids and maybe are going through some struggles, and you're able to give some ideas or to try to help and guide them through that. I've been a mentor definitely in the health and wellness area now, which is kind of a new thing for me. And it's exciting because I want to help people feel success in that area. There's the whole mindset piece, which, in business, there's the hard skill sets like goal setting and time management, but there's the soft skill sets in life and in business, which is just having a positive attitude and not being a pessimist and learning to be more optimistic. You can have a mentor in this area of your life. I mean, heck, you can have a mentor with even in cleaning your house or being organized, because a lot of people get frustrated that they just can't seem to, do it all, or they can't make everything work out. One of the things that I just happen to be really good at, and I have been since I was probably very young, like 10, 11, 12. Man, oh man, I loved to plan a party. Like, that was just my favorite thing to do when I was young. I loved planning my own birthday parties and putting those together. I would help my mom plan parties for our family, like New Year's Eve parties or, Christmas dinner or any of those kinds of things. I loved an event. And then as I got older, I started doing those kinds of things for myself. But like people would say, I remember having people at my daughter's school say, how in the world can you run a business and then pull off this birthday party for basically her entire class with all of this stuff? And I always help out with all of my class reunions. I've kind of spearheaded the majority of my class reunions every 5 years since we graduated from high school. And I'll just give you a little hint or tip that's coming up. The next one that we will celebrate is our 50th anniversary, which seems absolutely impossible. But I've been doing that for a long time. Now, do I do it alone? No, I do that with a group of people. But I've mentored a lot of people, even in that particular area. How do you put together a really good class reunion and get 300 people to show up? I mean, we have some of the biggest events, and people are always like, how in the world do you do that? Well, there are things that you do that really helps with how people are feeling about attending an event like that. I've got all kinds of really great tips. In fact, that could be a fun subject, because I get asked that all the time. So let's just dive in and let's just talk about, first recognizing that mentors don't have to be just for business. That's the main thing that I wanted to get across today. So let's talk about your health and wellness area first. So for me, I've got a couple of mentors that I have, a couple of friends who are nutrition coaches. So I have gotten information from them on good meal sets, eating healthy, meal planning. So I've gotten some really great information on that. I have other friends who are really good at working out. What I haven't found really, and that's why I'm I really want to lean into that, is there's a lot of people that teach you pieces of it. And I even find this with YouTube videos. There's people that teach on this subject, or they teach this, or they teach that. And it's really hard to pull it all together to really create your own program. It does take some thought and some planning. And I wouldn't even say that I've got it down to a T. I'm perfecting it. And as I do that, I want to lean more into mentoring people. And I have started in that, just even doing these YouTube videos, but then having people call me and say, okay, now tell me exactly what did you do and how did you start? And what's a day look like for you? So then I tell them what a day in the life looks like. One of the things that I don't want you to do is I should be able to figure this out on my own. If it's something new for you that you haven't done before, why in the world should you be able to figure it out on your own? I think we beat ourselves up way too much, and we put too much emphasis on ourselves, and people are really afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. That is one thing, honestly, I let go of a long time ago. I have no problem asking for help with anything, because I love to learn and I'm super curious. That's one of the things I think that has really contributed to my longevity and growth, and even in business or even with my health and wellness, is I'm getting started late in the game, no doubt about it. But all these different people that I'm seeing in different videos I'm watching, they're like, I never even started till I was in my 60s. So I'm like, okay, it's okay, because whenever you start, it's going to be better than not starting at all. So that is the one thing I've learned. And so I'm not feeling guilt. Like, I'm not taking that along with me, but if I can make the whole system go faster and I can learn from other people, then heck yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So, your health and wellness is an important piece. I mean, there's many different facets to it. There's the nutrition piece, there's your exercise piece, there's your supplement piece. I mean, there's a lot of different pieces that go along with your health and wellness journey. So you're not going to learn everything at one time, and you don't have to learn everything to get started. You can always do habit stacking, which is really how I finally had some success, was not waiting for everything to be perfect, just doing a routine, feeling comfortable with it, and then adding on a new piece to that routine, which is what habit stacking is. Number 2 is you already have mentors, I'm sure, and you just don't label them that. So it's somebody that can, just remember, a mentor isn't a coach. They are somebody who can offer you guidance, that can give you their wisdom and their experience, tell you what worked, what didn't work, save you some time with some of the pitfalls, because they can tell you where they did fall short or where they failed. That's why I love, love, love mentorship, because one, I'm pretty good at being accountable to myself. So like having a coach, I don't feel like I need that as much as I like people to share ideas and something that they did that worked. Like, tell me about a campaign that you did that was just blew your mind. Like, it just worked better than blew out all your expectations. What prompted that? It's usually there's something that causes people to do something because it's what they're trying to achieve, that outcome. That's why it's so important for you to know what it is that you want as that outcome. So you already have mentors. You just have labeled them differently. So you think you still have to find one, and you're not. And if you're looking for somebody to show up for you at the same time every week, then you're not looking for a mentor. You are looking for a coach. So that is where you need to get clear on that. Stop trying to be your own expert at everything. So yes, we can go out and yes, we can get information, but you don't need to know everything. And it's okay not to know everything. I mean, my goodness, what is there to learn then? And remaining a student is one of the most exciting things of life. So you don't have to know everything. It's okay to ask for help. It doesn't make you look weak if there's an area where you're stuck. It just shows that somebody's got a little bit more experience in something that you do. You don't have to be defensive about that. You don't have to look at it as a point of weakness. You don't have to look at it as anything other than, wow, I'm going to learn from this person. And you know what? I have had a successful business, and I have learned things from people whose business is not as big or as successful as mine, but there's one niche area that they are just killing. They're just killing it. And if I can glean that from them and I can apply that to this one niche area of my business and see a greater level of success, that's a happy day. And in return, if I can share another niche experience that I have that I think they should be utilizing and they could see results, that is a win-win for both people. We don't have to be on the exact same level in order to be able to get mentorship from each other. And that's another myth that I think that people struggle with. So stop trying to be the best or be the expert at everything. It's okay to ask for help, and it might come from somebody that might be at even a lower level of where you're at, but they've mastered one particular thing that you need to master in your business or in your life. And that's okay. That is totally okay. Different areas, need different types of guides. So one person isn't going to be a mentor to you in everything. So I think that that is an important thing to realize, that you do need different mentors for those different areas of your life. One of the things that I always wanted to be was more organized. And it used to frustrate me that I wasn't as organized as I wanted to be. In fact, I used to say, oh my gosh, I'm not very organized, because I felt that way. It wasn't something I wanted to be, but it's something I continued to say till I finally said, I'm going to quit saying this, because it's basically a self-fulfilled prophecy that I'm staying disorganized. So then it was like, okay, I need to find ways to be more organized. So I did. And one of the things, I'm really good about color coding things and sort of like, figuring it out. But spatial areas, I've got a little bit of a hard time with that. And so I had somebody come in and help me reorg my closets and my pantry. And now in business, I could do circles around that because I've got all kinds of stuff that I've done. But in my own home, that I needed help. And so I had a friend come over that completely helped me reorg my closet and my pantry. And now I just follow that system. I don't ever change it out. Sometimes I got to go back and sort of reorg it back to that where it was. But I like the way that it is. It's a system that I'm good with. And now I just keep that up. And that's probably been 10 years ago since I had somebody help me with my pantry. And my pantry, every year I go through and take stuff out that's expired, and I reorganize it all back together and just sort of get it back to the exact place where it was. But I'm able to do that because I had a starting point. So that's what that person was able to do for me. All right. So the next one is the right mentor makes things simpler, not more complicated. So if you are talking to someone and all the ideas that they're giving you are totally frustrating you and are making it seem harder, then you might not have the right mentor. You might not be ready for that one. Or maybe it's just too complicated. So always thank people for their time, but don't keep trying to make that round peg fit into the square hole. Like, you've got to say, okay, I need to keep looking. I need to keep looking. And sometimes it can be from somebody that you've met online and you can reach out, but don't be disappointed if you don't get lots of answers there, and just keep learning. But then you are going to find someone that suddenly it comes together for you and you're like, oh, wow. And a lot of times it's when you least expect it. So be open to networking in general, because it is through networking, meeting people, talking to people, that you can end up finding some of your best mentors will actually come from the networking that you've done. But if you're not networking at all, if you're not expanding your circle of influence, then you're not likely to find that mentor that you really want in the particular area of your life that you want it. So you grow faster when you stop guessing your way through life. Honestly, that's sort of been my mantra for years and years, is like, I want to get where I want to get a little bit quicker. And I've learned a lot of things, especially when I was young, by trial and error, just trying things. And it took me, months to figure some things out. But I was asking all along the way, make no mistake. I was asking people how they did it. And then I was trying it. Then I was trying and perfecting. But when I first became a speaker, that was why. It was like, I am going to teach you all the things that I've taken these last 16 years to perfect, and I'm going to teach them to you so that it doesn't take you as long to figure it out. That's what I think, and that's what I'm looking for, like today. How can I figure this out? How can I make it go a little bit quicker? It's not going to be just doing it on my own and trial and error. It's going to be through the mentors and the people that I meet that have been already are at where I want to go, and they're going to show me the shortcuts. They're going to show me the quick path. They're going to tell me about some of the pitfalls that they encountered along the way so I can avoid those. One of the things, and this kind of goes back to sales, but I think I'm going to do a whole one on sales because it's one of my favorite things to train on. But, one of the things that I always did for salespeople that I was training is, here's a script. And I totally believe in the whole script. And I would say, here's a script. Here's a good presentation. Use this one until you get comfortable with your own. You'll start telling your own little jokes and adding your own stories and your own personality. But until then, feel free to use mine. And it never failed. The people that right out of the gate would start doing really well, and they had never even done any kind of sales before, and they were just killing it. And every single time you'd go back to, what are you doing? They were still using this script like almost verbatim until they could move away from that. And so, like, if you can take what somebody else has done, a blueprint, and you can then make that blueprint sort of your own, but using what they've given you, you can shortcut your way to a lot of things in life, my friends, like a lot. Everything from the efficiency in cleaning your home to, I remember one time, one lady said to me, my biggest frustration is how to deal with my mail. And I was like, what? That was like the weirdest thing for her to say. Like I said, if you could change one thing that just frustrates the living daylights out of you every single day that would make your life easier, she was like, dealing with my mail. Let's figure that out right now, because I've always had a pretty good system for dealing with mail so that it doesn't pile up and you just don't have piles everywhere. And I think it's much easier to deal with mail these days because you don't get as much of it. We don't get as much mail as we used to get years ago. But that was her big frustrating thing. I'm like, oh, we can figure this out right now. You don't need to go through this every day. Here's the plan. And I gave her the whole system. Here's the whole plan. Here's what you're going to do every day. And she literally told me later, and that was one time. I didn't talk to her multiple times after that, but she told me many years later, oh my God, that changed my whole entire life. Like, of one piece that was making me constantly feel overwhelmed. It was a constant point of irritation for me and feeling overwhelmed, and that completely went away. So gosh, there's so many areas in your life that you can get mentors from. Don't think it's just for business. Don't be afraid to ask for help. There's somebody there that's got the right answer for you. You've got to be willing to hear it. You've got to be willing to try it, and you've got to be willing to tweak it. Remember, from the very first time this week, we said you have to learn, apply, adjust, and repeat. Learn, apply, adjust, and repeat. And that is how you become successful with anything, whether it is business or in life or anything that you want to achieve. So thanks so much for tuning in today. This week was all on mentorship. We got an exciting week coming up for you next week. So don't forget to tune in. Like, subscribe. Don't forget to share if you think this was helpful and somebody you know that's struggling with one of these things that they might benefit. It's a great way to say, oh my gosh, I heard this really awesome talk today. I think you'll benefit from it. Share it with them. So anyway, appreciate you guys so much. And we'll see you again next week.